Am I the a-hole for wanting to leave my husband after finding out he's secretly dating our babysitter and got her fired? So I, 30 female, have been with my husband, 33 male, for 6 years. We have a daughter too, and for almost a year now, we've had this babysitter, Anna, 22 female, who we hired through an agency. She was honestly amazing with our daughter. Like, she was always full of energy, patient, and super responsible. She just fit in so well with our family that I almost felt like she was part of it. My daughter loves her. A few weeks ago, though, I started noticing something kind of weird between her and my husband. Like, they were texting a lot, and not just about our daughter or the schedule, but like jokes and random stuff. When I asked my husband, he said it was just small talk, and I felt silly for even bringing it up, so I dropped it. Then last week, I came home from work earlier than I was supposed to. The second I walked in, I saw my husband and Anna sitting really close together on the couch whispering. They both jumped up and acted super awkward. I was honestly shocked and didn't know what to say at first. Later that night, I confronted my husband about it, and after a lot of back and forth, he finally admitted that he had been seeing Anna for the past week. He claims nothing physical has happened, but it's still a massive betrayal to me. Like, whether they slept together or not, he crossed a huge line. But it gets worse. I was furious and wanted to report her to the agency for being unprofessional, but when I called them, they told me my husband had already called earlier that day. Apparently, he made up some BS story about her being unreliable and got her fired from the agency. He says he did it to protect us because things were getting messy, but I honestly think he's trying to cover his own tracks. Honestly, this literally feels like a Lifetime movie. Now I want to break up with him. I feel completely betrayed by the two people I trusted around my daughter, but he's acting like I'm overreacting and saying I'd be throwing away our family if I left him over this misunderstanding. I don't know what to do anymore. Am I the a-hole for wanting to leave him after this? Is it really as bad as I feel like it is, or am I overreacting? Your husband cheating on you, especially with your nanny of all things, is you're definitely not overreacting. Like, this is not an overreaction. I would break up with him because why the hell are you screwing the help, the hired help, and the nanny? Like, men, I hate men who don't know how to choose who to cheat with. Like, if you're gonna cheat, cheat smartly. Why are you cheating? This is what people should be doing any and everything. Why are you cheating? Like, that's why people say crime is a close proximity thing. People are just too lazy. People don't know how to cheat no more. Back in the day, men used to have secret families, and you would only find out when they're dead, and family reunion at the funeral. Like, if you're gonna cheat properly and cheat with some random lady from 2 states down, not with your damn nanny. My bad. I don't know why I got so passionate about that. Anyways, am I the a-hole? I stopped wearing using what my husband gave me after he said that it's his money. I, 26 female, have been with my husband, 30 male, for 5 years, married 3 months ago. I'm a housewife and I have a little side job so I can buy what I want. My husband has a high-paying job that covers all the utilities and bills. Just a little background, after we got married, my husband insisted for me to stop working altogether since his paycheck can cover everything and help us live comfortably, so I agreed. Last Monday, when I got home after I bought groceries, he asked how much was it. I told him it's $950 since he has requested additions to the list. If not, it will only be $850 just like every month. After that, he got angry at me and told me to stop using his paycheck since it's not my money. I explained to him that I followed the list and got his request. He didn't listen and said that I'm basically throwing it all away. I was taken aback since I only use his money to pay the bills and utilities. I have a side job for my interest and I never ask him something unless I need it. I was so angry at his accusation that every day I began to dig up old stuff and use it instead. And I also stopped wearing or using his gifts. He confronted me and asked why. I only said that I don't feel like throwing his money away. He looked sad and left. When I told my friends about it, they said what I did was petty and I should just listen. Some of them said that I should be pettier. My parents are reprimanding me from taking things too far. It's been 4 days now and we haven't talked. I'm starting to think I really did went too far. She didn't go too far. This is my biggest fear of becoming a housewife. Imagine a man tells you, oh, I'm going to take care of you financially, and then boom. One day y'all get into a little argument, bada boom. Like now he's like, oh, well, I'm the one who pays the bills in this house, and I'm the one who has to go to work all day. Why you sit around and do God knows what? I'm sorry, but I would have asked for a divorce right then and there, because you're not going to say that to me. Plus, like, I feel like as a woman, you should always have your own money because imagine your financial stability being in the hands of someone's romantic interest in you. Like this, as like the day that this man can wake up one day and be like, oh, I don't want to be with this heifer no more, and then now you have to look for a new job. You have to get new life skills, get a degree if you didn't do anything before you got married. Like, it's a big risk. Depending on anybody, especially a man, is a big risk. But shout out to all the housewives. Anyways, next story. Am I there for telling my husband he ruined our honeymoon? So my husband and I just got back from our honeymoon, and honestly, I've been holding on to a lot of frustration since we returned. We have been both so excited about it because it was our first big trip together as a married couple. It was supposed to be a romantic once in a lifetime experience, but it turned out to be anything but that for me. A few weeks ago, before the wedding, my husband started talking about how it would be fun if we invited his best friend and his wife to join us for part of the honeymoon. I immediately told him that I wasn't comfortable with that idea because I wanted this trip to be about us. But he kept bringing it up, saying it would make the trip more exciting and less boring. I stuck to my guns and thought I had made it clear that it wasn't happening. Well, we arrive at our destination. To my shock, his best friend and wife were waiting at the hotel lobby. My husband has secretly invited them anyway, saying it would be no big deal and that we could still have our alone time. But the entire trip turned into a group dinners, shared activities, and zero intimacy. I barely got any time with just him, and when I brought it up, he acted like I was overreacting. He said we can go on a private vacation another time. I feel like it doesn't get any more private than a honeymoon, but maybe I'm crazy. Anyways, and that I should be grateful we got to travel at all. When we got home, I told him he ruined what was supposed to be our special honeymoon. He just shrugged and said I was making it a bigger deal than it was, and that we'll have plenty of other trips. I can't shake the disappointment though, and he still doesn't seem to get why I'm upset. Am I the a-hole for feeling like my honeymoon was ruined? I feel like this is the beginning of a long, dreadful marriage. Long, dreadful marriage. First of all, it doesn't get any more private than a honeymoon. There was a story of a man who invited his mom to their honeymoon, and the bride was upset because she shows up to the airport and she sees. Imagine getting married today, and then you're going to you're going to the honeymoon tomorrow. You show up to the airport and your mom-in-law is there, and you ask her like, "Where are you going?" She says, "Oh, honey, I'm going with you guys to your honeymoon." Like, ew. When you think of a honeymoon, you don't think your mother-in-law. That's disgusting. Like, this lack of boundaries. First of all, it's not even boundaries. She keeps saying she doesn't want something, and he keeps doing it. And then when she says, I don't want this, why are you doing it? Trying to communicate her feelings, he keeps acting like, oh, well, you're crazy, or tries to gaslight her. This is going to be a long, dreadful, resentful marriage. I hope OP is well enough to recognize the signs right now, because the red flags are red flagging. They're waving as hard as they can. Hurricane, like you ever see a flag wave through a hurricane? That's exactly what is going on right now. It's not a big deal. We can go on another vacation another time. Oh my god, blase blase blase. Like, ew, what is wrong with this man? I hate grown adults who act like little kids.